we're waiting for Dr. to come. I want to again appreciate our hosts for this initiative that will make us to be here. We've talked, and he had cautioned us now that look, there are so many things we can talk and we'll start. Even if the blows are not going to leave from A to no there, from A to this way, the blows can be verbal blows. So, but we can avoid that. And I want to say that I want to ask, of course, all of us here, we recognize our fault as our own father who has come to deal with us. There's nobody who doubts that fact. Is there?
Nobody.
There's nobody who doubts it. And I want to also say, for example, now that when our phone is in our midst, in fact, even his speech that he gives on, we don't discuss his speech in front of him. We don't. And I want to also say that wherever the phone is, all of us as when people, we are supposed to be there. We have problems, we have difficulties, we have situations which are dishonorable, but we are saying now that this is a royal visit. Let us forget how it came about. This is a royal visit here. We should concentrate our efforts for now to see how this royal visit succeeds, and we are going to look for permanent solutions for our problems. We cannot pretend to think now that we can sit here and solve all the problems that have been affecting these groups today. We cannot pretend to do that. And the doctor said it now that let us put the past behind us, but we are not saying we forget about them, because we will use them to be able to solve the future. Let us put that past behind us, it will keep reminding us. And we now see the present is the royal visit here. And the first thing which I saw in the letter which he wrote, and this is what the doctor has given to us, is that the first thing in Nkwen, because of the influx of the population, the water that used to serve a good number of people, it is not serving the people again. That is why he is. That is one of the reasons now that how can we raise funds to make sure now that we make this water available to those that are come to meet us? Because our population is growing. But like Dr. said, the population of those who are not even going is outgrowing us. But we must take care of all of that population. So one of the reasons for us being here is how do we make sure now that we can get this royal visit to be successful? And for it to be successful, it means now that he goes back and he is able to complete. Because I want to tell you that when in the heart of this water problem, because of the fact now that the phone, well, he made some declarations, which are personal decisions that he made to declare for CPDM. And then Martin too was posted as a director in Martin Lantern was posted as a director to scan water in Walla. Because of those relationships, they were able to give us 800 pipes. I don't know what that time. I don't know that this when they were of this size. They have taken the water about 3/4 way to reach Biden, but they got finished. This is where his problem is. That we have put 800 pipes already and we cannot utilize that water. This is why he's come out here to see in what way the subject of Nkwen, the well-wishers of Nkwen, can help us to complete those pipes to my two especially, and then to Belawan and beyond, so that everybody can, so that we can take care of this population which has come and met us. We are their hosts. They are outnumbering us, but we are those, we must take care of them. So this is one of them. At least the school project, that one is, they are now in their campus. And you know that part of the land that was there. That school has solved so many problems there. The because the other people were encroaching on that land so much. Some people even came and made land certificate right in the government. That's where that school is. But because of the school now, we have already solved so many of those problems there. And so the biggest problem for the fund is this water. So, ladies and gentlemen, let us see how we are going to make this royal visit successful. And that is why I want to see if we can get some contributions as to how we can make this royal visit successful.
What do you define as success?
Successful in the sense now that he can be able to have some finances that he can complete these pipes to take this water to their various destinations.
Let me tell you, I don't want to answer the question because I don't have any guarantees.
Yeah.
I was trying to be very objective, and any of you can correct me. I know my. Please, can you keep the washing till we finish? That can be done later. In America, who pays the piper calls the tune. Okay? You may not want to accept it, tough luck. This trip is sponsored by the NCDA and they would like to have credit for their sponsorship. All right? And I understand that because that's how everyday life I've lived here for the 50 years, that's what it is. You know, I'm a Republican and you see I'm there with President Ford and Reagan. And when we do things, we take credit for it. All right? So who pays the piper calls the tune. So unfortunately, in the United States now, there are two distinct Nkwen groups. There are about 3 or 4 of them, but there are 2 that are recognized. And one of them has sponsored this trip. Okay, well, that's why I say a success of the trip, how you define it. Okay, defining it as how successful the fund has a good time in America is one thing. NCDA should get the credit for that and everything about it. The second part which you talked about is how do we unite? I said it right from the on-go after studying this and thinking about it and worrying about it. I have to give credit for this meeting today before I finish talking to Dr. Tony Defoe. Because if Tony Defoe did not call and spend 2 hours with me while I was in Mexico last week, I wouldn't be here at this meeting today. I wasn't even going to be in town. I want you to know that, right? Tony said, Doc, you cannot do that, right? The reason I did that because I know my constituency, and there's one group that invited the fund, and they're going to get the credit for it, and they deserve it. So in America, when I work and make my money, I deserve it. If the NCDA invites the fund, and they want to get the credit, they deserve it. I'm not going to be jealous of them, I'm not going to criticize them. But the only thing, when Tony and I talked, he realized that, well, Mal, you understand that in the American way, but the people coming from home are not going to see it that way. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So I said, okay, what do I need to bring the 2 groups together? So I picked up the phone and I spent a couple of hours with, first of all, I went to the local president, Mr. Dr. Defoe. And then after I talked to him, he says, I'll go talk to my president. I called Martin and I talked to him. Then I called Herman. I says, okay, I want you guys to come together here and let's start working to help the village. Now, there is no way anybody from Ding is going to give you 1 penny for the pipeline if NCDA is going to get the credit for that money coming. That's the way things work here. There's no way somebody from NCDA is going to give you money for the pipeline if Ding is going to get the credit. That's why when you started Magistrate, I said, this is where we are right now. I'm glad that you and the fund came. Let's accept the fact that we have 2 standing organizations. They are here in the room, President of NCDA and President of Ding, both of them for development Nkwen. By their being here tells you they're interested in the village. That is not the question. By their being here, no, they respect Nkwen for, that should not be questioned. I want to ask them a question. So the question is, I was hoping that you and the fund will bless these 2 kids so they can go back to their group and come back and talk and try to mend their differences. But in the meantime, and I didn't want to say this because I don't want the police, as a matter of fact, the Dominic told me I was being rude. When I told the fund I don't want to be in Tungfall, he says that's not my choice. So if I don't have a choice, then I accept it. And if I accept it in Tungfall, then you communicate with Tungfall. You don't communicate with him, Herman. You don't communicate with him. Otherwise, you get nothing done. Because these are two separate factors. You get it? So if you don't want to communicate with people, that's fine. I need nothing from anybody in this world, from nobody in any place, and I don't want anything. So if you want to get anything done in America, and I'll tell you when he talked about NCDA working in the past, the brother will tell you there, 50 to 60% of that donation came from here. So if it's working, not working now, is because those who are coming and fronting don't have my backup.
Good.
You hear that? So if you want to ignore me, go ahead. It doesn't bother me. I'm not going back to Nkwen. I've given all the land to my brothers and sisters. I have a thing here where I'm going to be cremated when I die. So what I'm doing is from the bottom of my heart. So if anybody wants my position, they can have it. And if you don't recognize it, that's why you're not getting anything. And the Dominic will tell you, when the fund came here with the palace, not only did we contribute to it, but I built one of the palace queen's house for $3.5 million individually. And I got Ms. McCormick to do the same.
3.5 CF.
3.5 CFA, all right? So that's why I say you're talking because you don't know what you're talking about, because right now there are people coming to see you and they're bypassing your Ntumfo and they are not producing, and you're blaming the fact that they're separated. These guys don't trust giving 1 penny to him. He doesn't trust giving 1 penny to him. You understand what I'm saying? If I'm talking like the W told me. So if he doesn't trust donating a penny for him to give you for the pipeline, he doesn't trust giving penny for him to do, then you get no money for the pipeline. If you don't understand that, that's fine. But when Tumfo stood there as an independent person, and I wanted no credit, I want no feather, because a feather and pen will do nothing for me. All right? I do it because I love my village and people. He can trust me because I'm not looking for anything. But when people are coming to you who want a feather, who want a tanto position in Nkwen,